What's up, doers? Welcome back to another episode. I'm just gonna go ahead and start by prefacing we're just terrible. Not only were we down 2 mics, we're now down 3, and we're gonna have to share one because not only are we down 3 mics, we don't even have mic stands to even put this up to even be like that, and that would even be terrible anyway. And not only that, you are seeing my face again. I'm not Janelle for like God knows how many episodes. Because it's always just like me. Because I'm always like bringing Karyssa in as our designated person, which is fine. I love Chris.
Well, last week you guys.
No, I'm just saying because it's always like me by myself with someone else. Because Janelle's always like on a trip or like, you know what I mean? Not recently. Like last week was Janelle and I and Buzz. Yeah, that's what I was trying. Okay, I guess never mind. What I was trying to say, disregard that. But
Janelle's not here today, so I'm here. Moral story.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get this kind of flowing going. And if y'all just don't click off, we're funny. We're a fun time. And we're gonna get better at it. You know, stuff's are in the works. And yeah, so hey Chris.
Hello. It's gonna be funny sharing the mics back. But the pot, like people who don't watch the video, I think will be fine. And then people who watch the video, I think that's where it's gonna be like the things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and most of our views are on YouTube, so it's kind of sucky thing that I've been noticing that a lot of people prefer on YouTube than pod, which is fine because I like being in front of the camera. So I'm trying to think. No, I don't. Never mind. I'm not gonna even say it because like I'm not gonna do it. But welcome, Chris.
Welcome. So what's today's episode about, Kierra?
Well, before that, do you have any like, you know, little recap of your thing, what's going on with you and your personal life? Because like I feel like Janelle and I talk all the time as one knows, but like I don't talk to you, so I don't know what's going on with you.
One knows. What is that?
Huh?
Like one knows.
When did I say that?
Right now, I mean you don't talk all the time like one knows.
Oh, like you know, they know like one knows. Like I don't. Is that not a saying? No.
Not in my generation. Just kidding. What's been going on with my personal life? Nothing much, honestly. Just recently been in the famous words of Kylie Jenner, just realizing things. Just been going out a lot. That's it. Work has been okay. Work's been a little tough, not gonna lie. Actually, work has not been okay. Work's been a lot of work lately. Like a lot of work, which means weekends are just dedicated to not working or thinking. I've also actually been into a workout, just a straight walking. Like you don't jump, you don't do anything, it's straight walking. Obviously, it takes about 30 minutes, a good 40 minutes. But her name is Elena Fit, and that's what I've been into. I haven't, like, got bored of her. Granted, it's been, like, a week and a half. But that's what I'm currently like, into for working out. That's going on with my life.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I have noticed like your social media has, you know, gone up. Like you've been going out. I've noticed your like I said, 'cause I have to keep up with you on your socials because you don't talk to me. So I have noticed like you've, you know, little snaps here, little like, you know, Instagram story there, and I'm proud of you because of you. You know, you're a workaholic, and I'm really proud of you living your young life.
Yeah. Thank you. Every day I think I'm gonna post on Instagram. Every time I always give my friends and myself like, okay, I'm gonna post, and I just never do, but I really feel like by the end of this year I am gonna show a post out. I have not been on Instagram in 7 years. I haven't posted on Instagram in 7 years. That's a lie. 5. 2017 was the last year I posted. 5 years. So yeah, I've been posting in 5 years, but I still have great engagement, so I feel like I could keep it up, but then I realized that I'm probably not gonna continue it. But my thing is, I think that I'm gonna do just dumps, but then I hate dumps sometimes. Like I hate going through people's dumps, but I also feel like maybe I just post once a month. Like if I didn't post 5 years, no one really cares, you know what I mean? So like, oh, just one post a month.
Ow. Oh, excuse me. I like that. You know, that's how I keep up with you. So post more, sis. You never know with the traction. Are you finished with your coffee already? My goal is to finish this. Like I think I can finish this because when it's hot outside, and it's actually really good. I told you. Did I tell you or Janelle? Maybe Janelle, but I don't really care if it's watered down. I'll drink it still. But yeah. So with me, I work's going okay, like nothing really crazy there, like I don't really care, but I have a lot of content coming up, so make sure y'all follow my socials. Little plug here really quick. I'm undiscovered thirst on TikTok because I like to thirst out, so follow that TikTok. Obviously follow here. Just fun things coming. Are you laughing at me?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm undiscovered thirst.
Isn't that so me? Like I'm undiscovered and I'm thirsty, and I'm just meant to be out in the world right now. So undiscovered thirst on TikTok. Follow me. I'm fun. And then just fall time coming up. I'm so excited. Like spooky season is around the corner and it's coming, and I'm excited. I know Karyssa is the one that doesn't like to like whatever decorate not within the season, quote unquote time, but who says you can't? Like who says you have to stay in that season?
There's something called seasonal depression. And I feel like the reason why that happens is because people rush to the next season. So I love fall. I love October. But we're in August. There's no reason why we haven't even hit Labor Day and I see pumpkins everywhere. Like, no. Wait until Labor Day is done, and then mid-September, then I feel like, okay, start putting like the Halloween stuff and start putting up the leaves and everything. Like now it's like people are still in summer mode. Gossip Girl didn't have their white party yet. Wait until they have their white party and then go ahead and put Halloween stuff up.
I like how you made a Gossip Girl reference. Love that. But like I don't recognize Labor Day as a holiday, so it brings me happy, it brings me joy. Why?
Because that was a day dedicated for all of our 9 to 5 hard workers. We get a day off just for being at work.
Well, I'm off on Monday, so I don't care. So it's not really like a day. I just get paid that day because it's a paid day. But I'm off on Monday, so
Exactly, you get paid that day, so it's still something to celebrate.
yeah. I mean, again, like I'm not one to be putting out Happy Labor Day on my front door.
Me either.
But yeah, so today's episode I'm super excited to talk about. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but never mind. And I'm just a little low key sad that you don't have your own mic because like I feel this will be a episode that we're gonna both be very passionate about on our own different things. And oh, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying like no, I get it, but also too it makes us have time to like get our point across.
Oh, right. Because you're gonna have to keep passing back and forth. Like I said, for our listeners on Pod, probably aren't gonna notice it. For you, like our YouTubers that listen, our subscribe count's going out, which is really really lovely. Like, thanks. That's all I want to say is thanks. But yeah, I guess right. It's gonna give us a time to be like, okay, my turn. Like, you know what I mean? As long as we're not fighting, but it also kind of gives me like a little fire in my ass. I'm like, okay, I really need to like buy my stuff for this thing. Yeah. Like, but we'll talk. Well, I guess not you're not part of it, but it's the things you know what I say. So what today's episode's about is we're gonna talk books. Books have been swarming the world right now. Like TikTok has been blowing up, book talk has been blowing up. Like, I know there's the girls, they're like, oh my god, I've always been reading and it's just such a trend right now, which is like, let us have it, because like I'm a reader, but I fell off a long time, as y'all know from the one episode that the girls kicked me out of the book club. So but you're shaking your head, so please elaborate on why you're shaking your head, please.
No, you took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's like flabbergasting that just recently like everyone and their mom is just like posting books, and to me I'm thinking like it's such a trend, such a like a fad. No, but it's like such a trend and such a fad to like be posting, because like you could have read a long time ago but you didn't have to freaking post like all these different things. Now everyone's like what's the word I'm looking for, like a rater, like all of like, okay, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, this, that. Like it's like it's like such a fad to do. And some people in my head, I'm thinking like, girl, I know you don't read. Like, I know you're not a reader. I'm like, why are you posting it? But then I guess let her do her life. But no, I think reading has taken a huge turn like the last year and a half. It's good and bad, because I think it's bad because just I hate seeing like so many different people like becoming booktubers or book talk, I guess, but it's also a good thing too, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like, oh, now I have like so many different people having so many different tropes and recommending so many different stuff. But also half the time I don't really read those genres anyway, so it's not really like for me either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like for a long time I was and I'm still am a celebrity tell-all memoir reader. If y'all haven't read the Jeanette McCurdy, you should definitely read. It's a really good book. Just aside from being a celebrity tell-all, like the writing's really good. Um, but I don't know where I was going with that. What were you saying? Oh, book talk and stuff. Like, yeah, it has been like a thing. Like, it literally has swarmed TikTok. Like, book talk. Like, I have so many, which is nice because, like, I have so many recommendations, but I also feel like there's so much that I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm into like spicy reads right now, is what I'm reading right now. Because we're going to get into it more deeper. Obviously, our girl Colleen, who Janelle sent me a TikTok that we should make a trip up to her bookstore, which would be kind of fun. I know it's like 2 hours away, 3 hours, which would be really fun. But like, so I guess this can't even like go into you because you've been reading. But like, what was the book that got you back into reading? I guess it doesn't matter the year because like you're not part of this year. You're not part of the phenomenon that's this year.
Not part of the fad, but the book. So we've always been readers, but I think the book that got me back into reading had to be it was literally, I want to say like before the pandemic. It was called like Sweet Red or Sweet Wine, which was basically just rich guy, poor girl, live in New York kind of vibe. So at the time, Bella worked at Ross and I'd go to Barnes and Noble and obviously we'd go there. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of just doing my homework, let me read a book. So I picked up that book because I saw the wine on it. And that was when I realized like, oh, I forgot like how good reading was. I still don't think that's my favorite book, but it got me back into like, oh, like let me find better books and better stuff like that. So I read that one and then it was 2019 and I read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And I was like, oh, this is also a good book. And then I was like, okay, let me read all of her books at the time. So it was really like It Ends With Us with a mixture of like Sweet Red that kind of got me into like fiction reading.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, I was a celebrity tell-all reader. Like that's all I read. And I then went through like a phase of like self-help books, but like that's a whole different story. But like the book that got me into reading partially was my favorite book of all time, which is Evelyn Hugo. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is my favorite book. That got me. I 100% recommend it. I tell everybody it's such a good book. And I'm so excited for the movie to come out. But we should talk about that in another episode, like books going to movies. Anyway, so that was like the book that came out. And then I took a pause and I tried to read the whole Achilles book, just wasn't for me. And then I finally like jumped on the train because I saw It Ends With Us, like it started blowing up all of a sudden again. And I was like, I don't know why I try. I'm like, I don't want to be part of like the trends, but I always end up being part of them. I'm just like, I'm a bandwagoner. Yeah, exactly. I'm thirsty and I'm a bandwagoner and sue me. So I read it and it was so good. And I understand like nothing's worse than you read something with all the hype and then it doesn't live up to the hype. And it's like, oh, I wasted my time. But It Ends With Us is the hype. It was so good. Like it was great. Oh, do you disagree?
And this is my thing. Like, I disagree. I don't know why this book got all of the hype that it got. Like, well, first of all, I'm not a crier ever, but when I read the book, it was kind of like, oh, it was a good book. It was good. I've told you this. It was a good book. It was a good, normal Colleen Hoover book, but no way, shape, or form did I think that you had to have all this hype, movie deal. I don't think it was all that. It was a good book.
I think it's because you're just not, a in touch with your feelings kind of girly, because like there's so many elements of I cried at the end, like when it was like, spoiler alert, give you 5 seconds, when he was like, Dory, like just keep swimming, like that part touched me, just because like, but like I said, you're not into like, rom-coms, you're not like into all that stuff.
Like Reminders of Him, didn't cry. What was sad about Reminders?
Oh, I just sad because it was just like, no, I'm telling you.
Like I was reading. So that's the thing. Like, and partially it's my own self. Like it's nothing to do with the world. But to me, like I'm used to like books when you would be like, oh, this is a good book. read it, it's nice. But when you have like everyone and their whole mom like recommending a book, especially someone with Colleen Hoover, which I really liked prior, it's like, dang, like so many people are like saying this is this, this is that. So I'm reading it, I'm already having like an expectation because so many of it were in my head, and so many people are like, cries, sad book, like 10 out of 10, super sad. And I'm reading it, I'm trying to find that sad element, and then at the end, the only part was like, it was like more of like a aw, and then flip it and done. That it wasn't like super sad. That took me 2 weeks to read. I read it like fast, and then had 50 pages left. I said, you know, I'm not reading it. I'm skimming it. So that's when I had to put it down. That's when I told you that one day.
Yeah, no, it was just sad at the part where like she was in a, like, it was like the mom and daughter ass, again, spoiler alert. That's what it's sad apart. Like, you know, she wants to be with her daughter so bad, and they're like doing the whole mistake, like that part, because like the whole situation with her, I thought it was gonna be bigger. Like, you know what I mean? But that's not my favorite book of like Colleen Hoover, like I said, is Ends with This and Verity are my two favorite books. I loved Verity. I'm gonna try to read Layla because I heard that's pretty close to it. But back to what we were saying, like I said, it did swarm. Like I said, it ends, after I read It Ends With Us, like all the other books really weren't as up to that par for me, you know, because I read Ugly Love, I read November 9th, you know, and all that stuff, and they were good concepts and they were good parts, but like for some reason It Ends With Us like touched, I don't know what it was, but that one was just like the back and forth, like the I knew what it was, because they made you like him even though he was abusive, but it was like technically, even though you should never hit somebody, like his reasoning was like, well, I can see why you don't need to push her down the stairs and gaslight her, but I can see why you're mad. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was good. Like they made you not hate him, but like him at the same time.
And I think, although Ends With Us is definitely not my fave, I think it's really no, it's not. But I think what really gives it is because that was her book that was real life, so she probably related to that way more than all her other books, because it was like firsthand her mom. So that's probably
Really?
yeah, yeah. It was based off her mom. Yeah, that's what she. Hold this.
I didn't know it was based off her mom. I know it was like a domestic violence trigger warning, and I thought it was going to be worse. So, I mean, domestic violence is bad in general, but I thought it was going to be like really bad.
That was her mom. Like, I'm not, it's probably like not the whole doctor part, but like just that whole relationship is based off her mom, which is probably why it's the best, because she related it too much. Yeah. But, you know what? And also, I think right now with book talk, there's a lot of like surroundings of like romance and stuff, but personally, like there's a lot of books out there that has nothing to do with romance that I like, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch the topic. There's two books that James Peterson's a really good like psych thriller, so I like psych thrillers because they're just as good as romance novels, like the way they're written and stuff. Some of them could be really predictable, others aren't. So one of them I really like, which just came to be a Hulu movie, and they freaked it up. Sorry, I don't
Are you PG?
I thought we can curse. Well, YouTube, I don't know if you guys get like
Oh, she thinks we are.
that messed it up, called No Exit. That's a Hulu movie that the book was like phenomenal. I loved that book. That's one of my favorite ones. And then also too, what's it called? Not Achilles, but it's The Silent Patient. That one also were really, really, really good psych thrillers that if you guys haven't, don't watch the Hulu No Exit. If you watch that one, people would think like, oh, it's good. But the book was so much better.
See, I've been wanting to read some psych because I'm actually in the middle. I'm in the middle of 3 books. I need to chill. It's When It Hurts. What Does It Hurt? Oh my God, I don't even remember. Anyway, it's like a thriller spicy book. Like I said, right now I'm into spicy books. Like I love those kind of things. But like I've been wanting to read a thriller, but I don't know if it's just my own personal self being scary, scary. But like, you know, sometimes it's like if it's really good. I live in the middle of nowhere, Karyssa.
I had this conversation with my coworker like 2 days ago. No, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, just saying, I personally don't like to like read psychothrillers because, like, for me, watching a scary movie and reading a scary book, whatever, a scary book, psychological thriller, like it's more intense when you're reading it because you're like imagining it yourself. So you know what I mean. So it's like more intense. But I haven't read one. I've heard The Silent Patient was mediocre. So I you know, it sucks because you get like so many different reviews. Like some people be like, "Oh my god, this book's like the scariest thing ever."
Let me just defend that book real quick.
Oh, okay.
So I'll put that book with Reminders of Him category for myself. It's like that book was read maybe 2018 came out. Great book, awesome quality, all this. You put the hype around it. You put everyone and people who I'm not going to, not going to shame. But I am. So you put someone, okay, so like me, I hate celebrity tell-alls. So I heard Jessica Simpson one was really good, right? But I hate it. I don't read it. So I'm going to read Jessica Simpson and say, that was a 3 out of 10. That book freaking sucked. But you don't read a lot. You don't read celebrity tell-alls. You don't know that. So your opinion really isn't validated because it's like you're judging out. So you're having people who read straight romance and then goes to a silent patient and says, that wasn't even, nope, that's bad. So bad. Well, all you read is Colleen Hoover. All you read is Krista Lauren. Like, you don't read other things. So silent patient is the way it was worded, all of that. I have to say, if you think it's bad, it's because you don't know how to read.
I saw this somewhere. I don't know where I saw it, or maybe it was like on a TikTok, and if it is, I'll try to give you credit on it. But somebody said that the way Colleen Hoover is right now is what Nicholas Sparks was in 2015.
100%. I agree 100%. Like, you could not touch Nicholas Sparks. You cannot touch any of his books. You cannot touch any of his movies. She's in that phase of her life.
Literally, because like back in that time, Nicholas Sparks was everywhere. What did he? The last song, "A Walk to Remember," the Notebook too, right? Like the Notebook. What was the one with? Okay, Faults in Our Stars. Oh.
That was John Green.
Oh my God, you're right.
That was John Green.
I'm a poser.
Yeah, John Green wrote that one, which that one had everyone in a chokehold. Like, if you didn't read the book and you didn't cry, and if you didn't watch the movie and you didn't cry, it was like you were nobody. You know what I mean? But yeah, John Green, which is randomly, but Nicholas Sparks, yes, she's in his era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back to Fault in Our Stars really quick. I remember watching that movie. I didn't read the book because or did I read the book? No, I did read the book because I remember I was like, he dies, and you're like, Kierra, how did you not know that? But yeah, I don't even remember the book, to be honest with you.
Honestly,
I don't remember it.
Like I said, we could probably do a whole separate video, but as it's known, books are better. So it's just the movie wasn't bad though.
No, the movie for The Faults in Our Stars for its time was so. I remember not a dry eye. Like you hear the sniffles through the entire movie. Like nobody, and like I didn't really cry at My Sister's Keeper, but like Faults in Our Stars for some reason, like the letter, okay, he's a Grace. Yeah. Okay, like.
Yeah, that was a good one. Definitely made everyone cry because it was just like TD Bopper. You fell, clap sound of my. That's where I got the Angus thong. What the heck? That's coming back to trend. What's his name again? Ansel Elgort syndrome. That's where I got that from for sure. Because he had every girl. Because he was 6 foot too.
For those that don't know, Karyssa, please explain when we say, "Oh, that guy has the angle." I can't even fucking say his name.
Ansel Elgort.
Okay, well, please explain the syndrome that we like to say.
It's funny because I said that at my job one time, and the same thing. They're like, "Oh, we kind of understand it." So Ansel Elgort, which is kind of hard to say depending, is a syndrome, which basically means that we made up. Which because at the time of Fallen Stars, what was his name? In the movie, Augustus. So like, yeah, like when that whole thing came out, he was just so cute. Like you fell in love with him. He was everywhere, and everyone was like on his, on his dick. And then when you took him out of the character and you really looked at him, because I had him like I was my screensaver. I was like obsessed with him. And then when I took a step back, I'm thinking like he's really not that cute at all. Like he's really ugly. But your character just made you like him. So I have the Ansel Elgort syndrome where it's like another person who, and I'm just gonna have to go ahead and say, no matter his comeback in Top Gun, is what's his Miles Teller. Like he's not cute at all. Like at least to me, if you put him on the street and you're walking in a bar, like if he doesn't talk to you or something, you're probably not going to hit him. yeah, you'll kind of be like a normal guy. But granted, you put him in a one scene in Top Gun, you put him that one scene in like 21 and Over, it's like, oh my god, he's so cute, but he's really not. So he is, that's Elgert syndrome.
Yeah, so because I think we've said it before on this on the pod, but in case just for people to know, that's what we stem from. Like the dude from Divergent, Theo James, whatever. He for me, he gives me, because like I don't find him that him and the dude from freaking 50 Shades of Grey, I mix them up all the time. Like they look the same to me. They're just blurred together.
We and so Elgert syndrome.
100%. Chuck Bass has, I can't even say his name. No, Ansel
Elgort. Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, he has that syndrome. Yeah, so that's where we stem from for quick.
I don't think Joe has it, and I don't think so. Well, not his name's not Joe, but not Paul. What's his name? Dan. What's his name though? Penn Badgley. I think he's cute, but some people think same thing. Like he's.
Yeah, I can see it, cause like, and some people think my baby boy Dylan O'Brien has it. I think Dylan O'Brien is so cute, and some people were like, it's his character, it's Styles, but no, like I was obsessed with, like, he was my screensaver as well back in the time, and he. I love me some Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that people liked Dylan O'Brien only when he's like in character. They don't understand the hype. Him too. What's another one that's, he's not in that category for me, but Logan Lerman, from Percy Jackson. They put him in that well, they didn't, but people put him in that category, like all my friends, and I would be like, Logan Lerman, like, are you kidding me? Like, he's so beautiful, and they look at him, they're like, no, he's not, but maybe I have Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, because you have Ansel Elgort syndrome. They're like, you know, that whole genre of, we need to do an episode, Karyssa, of, because I mean Janelle reads, you know, of like movies. Mama, you got it?
We're recording.
Okay, Janelle, we need to do an episode with like books turned to movies.
Yeah, but let's go back to the books.
Yeah, let's go back to books. Yeah, because we did a little long tangent on that, because. Fault in Our Stars. Because I got it wrong. That's what happened. I got the fucking. And I'm over here saying I'm such a reader.
But you know what's funny though? There's so many. I'm excited for. Okay, this is what I have to get it out there again. And I don't. Bella hates when I say stuff like that. But I'm not trying to be what you kids call a pick me girl. I'm not trying to be that. I just generally have a lot of different opinions a lot of times. One of them being dear to my heart is the Where the Crawdads Sing. That I don't understand why it got a film out of all of the movies. Like Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo did not get a movie deal that quick, or a Taylor Swift song, but that one did. Doesn't get it. And I think that book was a good book. I don't think it should have been the first one out of Book Talk to get a movie. That's just my opinion. And I heard the movie sucked, and I refused to watch it. So.
Yeah, I haven't read it. Or have watched the movie. Interesting. I haven't read it or watched the movie. I heard good things about the book. I've heard mixed reviews, but like what doesn't have mixed reviews nowadays on the movie. And I agree, because like I said, but the thing is though, I'm glad they didn't jump on Seven, because that's one of my favorite books. So let them marinate. Let them take their time with the processing. We're gonna have to do a part 2, because I really, really want to get into like movie books and like who we think we should play the part, but that's not what this was about. We're just talking about strictly books. Okay, so let's just get back into it before we just spin off the tangent. What's the last book you read was Reminders of Him, right? What book do you recommend for our doers to start their book journey, Karyssa? I always say Seven Husbands. Yeah. Oh, I need to say something. Sorry, I was gonna go back to you. I did not like Daisy Jones and the Six. And I don't know if it was because I took everybody's recommendations to listen to it as an audiobook. And everyone was saying, listen to it as an audiobook. And I know it's called Daisy Jones and the Six, but I really wish it was more Daisy and not the Six, because like they were annoying to me. And I liked how it was written, like how it was different. I just didn't like it. I don't know if it's because I'm not into that kind of genre of music, because I got Stevie Nicks vibes. Like I'm sorry, I just didn't. That's my hot take. I didn't like it.
So when you think of Daisy Jones and the Six, you compare it to Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Okay, we're back. It's different. You have to think about it as a different kind of love story. Like that's what it was about. So you think of the Seven Husbands. That love story was kind of like different than the Daisy Jones. Let me finish real quick. But I do think Daisy Jones was more of like less focusing on like the love part and more of like the band and the way it was written from the different perspectives and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think Daisy Jones was like, you know, my number 1, 2, 3, 4. It's definitely my top 10, but it's definitely closer to the 10 or 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like, but the thing is, like, I didn't know it was written by the same lady until after, so I didn't compare it to Evelyn. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I know it was a love story because obviously Homeboy was obsessed with Daisy, and it was just wrong timing. They both couldn't get their actor. Like, you know, I get it. It was star-crossed lovers at a wrong time. I just didn't like it. There's no like even like to say like, oh, defend it. Just like it just wasn't for me. I don't know. Like I said, maybe if I would have read it in person, it might have been a little different. I was more interested in the Disco Queen. Like, what's going on with her? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know more about Daisy's. I thought it was about Daisy, and then I just as I kept going, because obviously it's like the band. Because Daisy didn't even get to the band till like halfway through the book anyway. Like, I didn't care about the band. Let's like deal with Daisy, and like I think that's becoming a TV show.
It's either a show or a TV, and Cami Romance is in it.
Who's that?
Leonardo DiCaprio's. I don't know if it's his current girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
She's the model that looks just like Haley Baldwin.
We're a Baldwin fan over here. I mean, yeah, I am. Karyssa's not. I mean, I'll never be Team Selena. She just annoys the crap out of me. Even if.
But anyways, Cami Rones, whatever, she's in it, and I don't like her, so I'm curious to see who she plays.
I was gonna say for some reason I don't know who.
I think she's gonna play Camila. That's who I think she's gonna play.
Okay, if that's fine. Camille's kind of in and out, but Daisy's a big one because like when I think of Daisy, I think of Stevie Nicks. Yeah. Excuse me. So.
I hope it's not her, but I think of a Tori Kelly.
Which one's this one?
Tori Kelly.
Oh, Tori. No, she's not. She's not that great of an actress.
No, but I think of.
Oh, the hair, but wasn't she redheaded? So this can't be Tori Kelly. Maybe Brittany Snow.
She cannot come out of retirement.
She was in that movie X.
I know, but Brittany Snow is kind of like.
Pitch Perfect days are over. Yeah. But yeah, that's a hot take. Like I said, that's a book that was recommended. There's another book, I think, like We Saw the Light, or The Light Left Us or something. I'm going to look it up because I think you've read it. Hold on. Oh, here, talk amongst yourself.
Well, back to your original question, what book would I recommend for doers to watch? So here's my thing, doers. Like, I have a lot of different book recs and different like genres. So I feel like I said earlier, romance is kind of on its peak right now. Like, if you don't read romance, it's like you're not a book talker or YouTube or booktuber or something like that. I think a good staple for me that I feel like a lot of people pre-book hype, current book hype, is Renee Carlino's what's it called? Who? Renee Carlino.
I don't even know who.
Before it ends, I'm getting literally it ends with us. Crap. I have to look that up as well.
Okay, yeah, you keep doing that. I'm trying to find the book still.
I'll show you guys. Hold on. Bless you. My Lord.
My goodness, I'm so sorry. Is it in 5 years? It's not in 5 years. It's similar to that though. We'll take a quick break.
Is it You Wish You Were Here? Oh, Before We Were Strangers. That's the book I would recommend you guys, Before We Were Strangers, because it's really good romance.
Oh, I found it.
What is it?
The Light We Lost.
Oh, I'll never.
Okay, I found the book I was looking for. It's called The Light We Lost. Okay. I don't recommend it. That's all I want to say. I just like I forgot what I was going with it because I had something to say beforehand and I was looking it up and now I don't remember why I brought it. But okay, go ahead.
Anyways, back to my recommendation. That would be a book I would recommend to everybody. It's romance. It's lighthearted. It's funny. It takes place in college, all through like late adulthood. So I feel like before it ends with or Before We Were Strangers, it takes place with like adults, college, and post like mid adult. So I feel like this is all of our genres, or all of our age group. Before We Were Strangers, which is crazy because that is such a good popular romance book and it has not gotten any sort of like hype at all, like completely, and I think it deserves just as much hype as it does with all the other ones. So I think that one would be a good romance one. If you want to do a thriller one, No Exit obviously is really good. There's another one by James Peterson that I can't think of the top of my head, but No Exit would be. Self-help. Do you read self-help books?
I did go in a time because I think I remember Rachel Hollis, the train wreck that was ended up being. Remember? I mean, it was a great Girl Wash It, but that's a good title though. Girl Wash, like it was good. And then, but I just haven't been because I'm just not ready to help myself right now. So I'm just not into those are boring to me. Like the self-help books, the get yourself like what is that? A subtle of not giving a fuck. Like those books are boring to me. What's the other one? You're a Badass. Like if that's what your thing is, cool. Just for me, I just when I'm reading a book, I'm reading to escape and have fun, not to like do more stuff.
Yeah. But if you are into those, Atomic Habits is one that's a really popular one. Not really 100% into that. I think I got like, well, you have to think about with those books, not everything from like start to finish you're gonna like internalize, but that's gonna be that one thing that like you take from that book. Atomic Habits is pretty like big. I don't really like it too much, but apparently that's like a really, really big one. If you're doing more of like self-help, just like not self-help, but like self-knowledge, whatever, self-bettership, whatever. I like Dale Carnegie's 10 Ways to Influence People in the Digital Age. That one's a good one. And then other than that, it's only really the three genres I read is romance, thriller, mature.
Yeah, you do read mature books. It's just I don't need dense, I don't need that. But I am in the dilemma of possibly getting a Kindle. I'm in the dilemma of getting a Kindle because one, let me tell you my reasons. One, it's just easier to access books. Like you can just download as many as you can and read it. And that's actually kind of the only reason besides just having a Kindle, because like I have all these books and it's nice and I have a bookshelf, but like I just like when I want a book, I want it now. And so, and it's, I don't know, I just really was always looking into it because mom used to have the Nook, remember? And I have my iPad, but it's just not the same. Like it's one and my iPad's massive and I just need like, I have a little delicate hands. I need to put on my thing. But yeah, I'm on the midst of getting a Kindle. Like I almost bought one yesterday and then Derek's like, well, if you're going to get one, don't get that one because, he's a tech guy, but I'm thinking of a Kindle Oasis, thinking of that one, but it looks really bulky. Like it's not bulky? No, so it's not like huge. No, the Kindle Oasis, right? The one that has a little thing? Yeah, that. Okay. Oh, no, that was something that you want. No. It wasn't that the prices range. That's a good one. Like, I was thinking of getting the Kindle Oasis, and I'm, like, really on the fence of getting a Kindle. Like, I really want one, because, like, my book... I would recommend you, just for knowing you as your sister and Janelle, to get the not Kindle Oasis, because like just get the Kindle that's plain. You guys are gonna do what you need to do, you're gonna read what you need to read, and then once like book talk gets like over and like it's the phase and stuff is over, you still have a Kindle, but it's not like you're wasting $200, because one of them's like $60 for the normal Kindle. Like I was gonna get that one because like, oh, it's only $50. You know what I'm saying? And it's not $200. That's the one I was gonna get, was the one that I think it was like white and it's like $64 on sale right now. But then Derek's like, don't get that one because it's not backlit. Like you need it for your eyes. And so there's one right in between it. No, the one that the paper white. The paper white's Yeah, but the one that's 64 isn't. The one that's 130 is. I just looked at this yesterday because I was gonna literally buy the white one yesterday, and then Derek's like, "No, if you're gonna get a Kindle, like get the one that's gonna like the whole purpose of the Kindle." You know what I mean? And it's like one's like 64, one's the 35. Like I literally just looked at this yesterday because I was like about to press like confirm and just not get my nails done for the next 3 weeks. But yeah, I don't know. Like I really like. I know people are like. I used to be the people that's like, I need the book in my hand. I need to feel it and like smell it. And now I'm like not. Like I still read it, but like I just tried it on my iPad and it's just so big and massive and so cute, you know.
I would get a Kindle, but I just something about highlighting in paper.
Oh no.
Something about something about holding the book. Let me have my piece.
Okay, go ahead.
Something about let me revise this. When I'm reading self-help, self-knowledge books, like there's a lot of things that you need to remind yourself. So in that or quotes or other things, whatever it may be. So like I like having physical books because you get to write your own notes. Besides the point of writing your own notes, like you just have like that paper, that feel of it, and it doesn't matter how much blue light, white light, paper white it can. It's still damaging your eyes if you're reading like constantly, just like on your phone. It damages your eyes all the time. So when you're reading a book, a real book, you're not damaging your eyes. But I don't hate it because I almost did buy the Amazon one because one con of a book is like when you're sitting down and stuff, the lighting, depending on where you go, like it's hard to read and you have to bend it. Where if you get that, it's like you can do anything and it will read your book. So I take it you don't like highlighting in books.
No, Janelle and I read. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God, excuse me. I understand the self-help books because it's your thing. Janelle and I were just talking about how people like read and highlight in like normal books, like romance and like highlighting in tabs. We were just talking about like just remember it, like just remember what you like. And so we were just talking about Dad 2.0. We were just talking about how like you know how people have like I saw like this one girl was like. Yeah, all this stuff, which I guess is cool if you just want to like I guess if you're part of a book club or something and you want to like bring you know something to the table. But Janelle and I were just talking about like why it's become an aesthetic now. Like I have to just like put my tabs and I have a pink highlighter for all my love quotes and a green highlighter for all the ones that like made me think twice about it, you know. I probably shouldn't say anything because I'm sure because like I said I am thirsty. I probably end up doing it eventually, you know, and that's my cross to bear.
I think you hit right on the nail. It's aesthetic. It's what's in, right? So everyone and their mom is doing that. But I will defend not because you can do that with the self-leadership ones. Because sometimes like there is a lot that you want to like, Kierra said a quote. Let me write down like how I relate to it or how I could use it in my like job or something, whatever. But to defend the romance ones, like there is some quotes that like you would read. I mean, granted, am I going to have like the pink state? No, but like there's some that's like, you know what, that really touched me and that really like made me think like or if let's say you're someone who's going through something like that and it's like wow, like this quote really spoke to me, like I'm gonna highlight it because if you're an avid reader or something, like you can go back to that quote and be like, yeah, like this was the quote. So, you know, because sometimes I do remember it, but I don't highlight it. So I'm like flipping back, like what page did they say that? Or what page was like that cute thing or whatever. But definitely, I think that's like a thing, like annotating your book. It does look pretty. It does look cute. But I'm not too much into like romance like that to really like go back and like reference like.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to that. I'm not making fun of people who do it because if you do it, like that's like I said, the way you explained it, like if it's like a quote that literally like stood out to you, like you know what, I'm gonna use it on like my wedding invitation one day. You know what I mean?
I also feel like a lot of people who like recommend books, like booktubers or book talk people, like people who actually like recommend them, they do that so they could really like okay, it ends with this, like there's this quote in here so make you kind of like okay, you have to read it.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I guess I would recline. It was just funny because I think it's just because the person who posted it, you know what I mean. So I think that's what it was, not because of what happened. It's just the particular person who posted it.
I'm pretty sure, like, you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody, which I'm about to, but like I just can't stand. That's why one thing I hate with trends sometimes is because that one person, like, you know that person is simply doing it to post a photo. Like they're not really doing it. But then on the flip side, it's kind of on the
I was like me over here.
probably. But like on the flip side, it's kind of like, I guess just let them hop on like everyone, you know. But
It's a trend. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of trends we can pull up from your past that you hopped on.
yeah. But there's a difference though.
The like, I'll throw an egg on my head.
Yeah. But there's like difference though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those were like challenge trends.
Yeah.
Challenge trends. Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are pictures. It's not like I don't read. I never read a day in my life, and I'm gonna like act like I read just to post it, even though I don't finish the book.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and people know what we're saying. I'm sure there are gonna be people like, "Let him be." No, y'all know what we're talking about, and it doesn't have to be books. It can be anything, like sports girly. Like, no, damn well you don't play sports, but all of a sudden you're a track star.
My friend was the queen of that. Like, would go and just post a picture of the Spurs versus whoever they're playing. Google number 9 and say hashtag I love the Spurs. He's such an awesome player. Love Tony Parker. Blah blah blah. And then turn off the TV and go upstairs.
We love a queen. We love
Don't post it. Like,
yeah, we love a pick me girl energy. But let's go ahead and wrap this up because I definitely want to come bring you back. Hopefully we have 2 mics by that point. And Janelle as well. And we can really do like a dive in like books, movies, our favorite adaptations.
We should because recently in the past like 2 years, a lot of my top 10 have been turned into books, have been turned into movies, and every single one of them I just have a lot of opinions on. I won't get onto it, but so that's why I think we should get.
We should definitely do that because I have quite a few books I didn't read. Like, you know, like.
Also talk about the past ones. Like
I was going to say Twilight. Like, I didn't read, like, you read Hunger Games before it was a movie. Like, we can do it. We'll do a whole.
have you seen they're coming up with a new one?
Yeah, but like with like snow.
Musical?
No, it's not a musical.
Well, not a musical, but the girl from unpopular opinion, but the girl from West Side Story, how she made that huge deal about the Oscars, like she's gonna be one of the main characters in it. And I was like,
It's good for her because she was going to be blacklisted. So at least she got a good role. Because once you're blacklisted, it's kind of hard. But we'll definitely do an episode part 2 on this. Maybe next week when Janelle's back. And then we'll see because I have a lot to say on those because like nothing's worse than your favorite book turned into a movie and it sucks.
Hashtag hating game.
I know, but you just have a personal vendetta against Lucy Hale.
I do, but even watching a little bit of it on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap it up because again, we're gonna get into a whole other tangent. Thank you, sis, for stepping on up. Not letting me do this alone. We love a sister supporting sister when she wants to. Janelle will be back next week, hopefully. If not, then you might see her again if we're fit in her schedule. Other than that, do you want to say anything else before we part ways with our doers?
I guess follow me on social media.
Oh, because she's gonna post. Remember?
Yeah. I don't know my. I think it's Karyssa.
We'll have it down below.
Karyssa with 5 A's underscore. Karyssa with 5 A's underscore.
We'll have it down below in case it's 6 A's or something. So, Janelle usually closes out, so we'll see. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are going up in subscribers. We're going up in views. We love to see it. Janelle's not here, so I can say it. We're a fun time on this podcast. We like to bring joy. So make sure you comment, rate on all of our podcast forms. I know I'm trying to like tie it in, but whether you guys read books or before we do that, let us know what book you're reading. What book brought you back to the reading world? What books you think is overrated? Anything down below in the comments and all that stuff, and give us some recommendations. Might read it. I'm open to it, but whether you read or not, always remember to do you, sis.